Welcome to Infidelity Love, the home of untold secrets, forbidden affairs, and stories that test the limits of love and betrayal. Here, we dive deep into the messy, complicated world of relationships where hearts wander, trust is broken, and emotions run wild. Every story we tell will leave you questioning loyalty, love, and the price people pay for passion. If you crave drama, suspense, and love stories with a dangerous edge, you've found your home. Subscribe, stay close, and let's uncover the truth together.
There was a man named Calven Ridge. Calven was tall, with brown hair and green eyes. He loved his wife so much. Her name was Eloan Grace. Eloan was soft, beautiful, and her smile could make the sun shine. They lived in a big, quiet house on Willow Street. Every morning, Calven would hug Eloan and tell her, "You are my heart. No one can take you from me." But something was wrong. Calven loved Eloan so much, but his love was too heavy. It was not soft like a feather. It was hard like a big rock. He was always watching, always checking, always asking, "Where are you going, Eloan? Who called you just now, Eloan? Why are you smiling at your phone, Eloan?" Eloan would laugh softly and say, "It's just my sister, Calven." But Calven's heart was wild. It did not trust. It did not rest. One day, a new man moved into the house across the street. His name was Joran Slate. Joran had dark hair, blue eyes, and a voice like sweet water. He was kind, and he smiled at everyone. When Eloan saw Joran fixing flowers in his garden, she waved. Joran waved back. That little wave was the spark. Calven saw it from the window. His hands shook. His heart screamed, "Why is my wife smiling at another man?" From that day, Calven started watching, not with his eyes only, but with his heart, his ears, and even his shadows. He followed Eloan to the market. He checked her phone when she was sleeping. He counted how many times she smiled a day. And every time Eloan spoke to Joran, Calven's mind told him bad things. "They're hiding something. They're lying to you." But Eloan was innocent. She was only being kind. Joran was lonely and new in town. One rainy evening, Calven waited behind the curtain. The wind was crying outside. Lightning made the room bright for one quick second, then dark again. Eloan came home, wet and cold. Calven asked with a voice like thunder, "Where were you, Eloan?" She said softly, "At the bakery. I bought you your favorite bread." But Calven didn't believe. His eyes were red, and his heart was loud. A new plan was born in his head. He would test her. He would leave town for 2 days. He would tell her he had work in another city, but he wouldn't really go. He would hide, and watch, and see what Eloan and Joran would do when they thought he was gone. The next morning, Calven kissed her goodbye and drove away. But instead of leaving town, he parked his car behind the old mill and waited. The whole day, his heart played drums in his chest. And then, at sunset, Eloan stepped out of the house. She wore a yellow dress. She looked left. She looked right. Calven's heart was a wild lion now. She started walking, but not to Joran's house, not to the garden. She went to the old park behind the church. Calven followed, hiding behind trees like a silent cat. And then, in the dark park, under the big old tree, Eloan met someone. But it wasn't Joran. It was a woman in a red coat. Who was this woman? Why was Eloan meeting her in the dark? Calven's mind turned like a storm. He wanted to shout, but his legs didn't move. He watched as the woman gave Eloan a small box. Eloan opened it and gasped. She hugged the woman tight. And then, she cried. Calven could hear her soft sobs through the rain. What was in that box? Who was that woman? Was this about love, or something darker? Calven stepped closer. The branches cracked under his shoe. The woman in the red coat turned around. Her face was pale like a ghost. Her eyes met Calven's. And then she smiled. A cold, scary smile. Who was she? Why did she know Calven's name? Eloan gasped, "Calven. What are you doing here?" The rain fell harder. The old tree whispered secrets. And the night grew darker. The rain made tiny rivers on the ground. The trees whispered like old people telling secrets. Calven's heart beat fast. It sounded like boom boom, boom boom inside his chest. The woman in the red coat stared at him. Her eyes were big and dark. Her smile was cold like ice. And then, she spoke. "Hello, Calven Ridge," the woman said softly. Calven stepped back. "How does she know my name?" he thought. Eloan ran to him. Her face was wet, not from the rain, but from tears. "Calven, please go home," Eloan begged. But Calven didn't move. His hands turned into tight fists. He pointed at the woman. Who is she, Eloan? Why are you meeting her at night? What's in that box? Eloan looked at the woman. The woman gave a little nod. Eloan opened the small box. Inside was a tiny, old necklace. It was silver, and it had a little blue stone in the middle. Calven blinked. Why was this necklace so important? Eloan's lips shook. She whispered, "It's my mother's necklace, Calven." The woman in red stepped forward. "I'm her sister, Calven," she said. Her real sister. Eloan's mother gave me this necklace before she died. She told me to give it to Eloan when the time was right. Calven felt dizzy. A sister? Eloan never said she had a sister. The woman looked at him with those sharp eyes. "I've been watching you, Calven. You love too hard. Your heart is sick with jealousy. You will break her, Calven, if you don't stop." The words hit Calven like a hammer. He felt small. He felt cold. "You don't know anything about me," Calven hissed. The woman smiled again. "Oh, I know you, and I know what you've done." Calven's stomach twisted. What did she mean? Eloan grabbed the necklace, held it to her chest, and began to cry harder. "Why didn't you tell me you had a sister, Eloan?" Calven asked. Eloan's voice was soft like the wind. "Because she disappeared when I was a baby. I thought she was dead, but she came back, a week ago." Calven shook his head. "A week ago? That's when I started feeling something strange." "And Joran?" Calven asked, his voice cracking. The woman in red spoke again. "Joran is my friend. I sent him to live across the street to watch over Eloan, to protect her. From you." Calven's mouth went dry. "You're lying," he shouted. Lightning flashed. The woman didn't blink. "You'll see, Calven. The truth is heavy, and it's coming for you." Suddenly, a loud snap echoed through the park. A branch broke. Someone else was there. A shadow behind the tree. Calven spun around. "Who's there? Show yourself." The shadow stepped out, and it was Joran. His face was pale. His hands were shaking. "Calven, there's something you need to know," Joran said. His voice was soft and broken. "It's about your brother, Terran." Calven froze. His brother? What did Terran have to do with this? Calven's head spun. His heart raced. He looked at Eloan. He looked at the woman in red. He looked at Joran. Too many secrets. Too many lies. And now Terran? Calven's hands began to sweat. The woman in red whispered, "Ask him, Calven. Ask Joran what your brother did." Calven's lips were dry. His throat felt like sand. He took a shaky step toward Joran. "What did my brother do?" Calven asked. Joran looked down, and then he opened his mouth to speak, but before he could, a loud scream echoed through the park. A woman's voice, from the dark. "Help! Someone help me!" Everyone turned. Who was it? Another secret? Another person hiding in the night? The rain poured harder. The darkness felt like a heavy blanket. The scream came again. "Help!" Calven's heart jumped. Without thinking, he ran toward the sound. The trees closed in. The night swallowed him. The others followed. The park felt like a maze, and deep in the dark, they would find something. Something that would change everything.
The scream cut through the night like a sharp knife. "Help! Please!" Calven's legs moved fast. His heart slammed in his chest like a wild drum. The wet grass slapped against his shoes as he ran deeper into the park. Behind him, Eloan shouted, "Calven!" "Wait!" But he didn't stop. He had to find the voice. He had to know. Was it another secret? Another lie? The wind howled like a sad ghost. The rain hit his face. And then, under the old broken bridge, Calven saw her. A girl. She was lying on the wet ground holding her stomach. Her hair was long and dark. Her face was pale like a piece of paper. Her eyes were wide with fear. "Please, help me," she whispered. Calven knelt beside her. "Who did this to you? What happened?" She tried to speak, but her lips trembled. Behind them, Joran, Eloan, and the woman in red arrived, breathless. The woman in red gasped. "Her name is Kendra." "Kendra?" Calven asked, confused. "Who is Kendra?" The woman's voice dropped. "She's the one your brother Terran left for dead." Calven's heart skipped a beat. "What?" His voice cracked like broken glass. Kendra looked up at him, tears mixed with the rain on her face. "Terran? He told me to meet him here. He promised he'd help me. But then She winced in pain. But then what, Kendra? Tell me, Calven begged. Kendra grabbed his hand. Her fingers were cold. He said, if I told anyone about the letter, about Elowen's mother, he would... She coughed hard. He would finish what he started. Calven's head spun. A letter. His brother. Elowen's mother. Too many puzzles. Too many secrets. Calven looked at the woman in red. What is she talking about? What letter? What did my brother do? The woman in red took a deep breath. The night Elowen's mother died, she wrote a letter. She wrote about something terrible Terran did. She was going to give it to me, but she vanished before she could. Calven's mouth went dry. Are you saying my brother killed Elowen's mother? The woman's eyes were sad. No, Calven, he didn't kill her. But he did something just as cruel. He stole the letter and hid it. And when Kendra found it last week, he tried to silence her. Joran nodded. That's why I came to town, Calven. To watch Elowen, to protect her from your brother. Calven's knees felt weak. His whole world was spinning. His brother, Terran, the same brother he laughed with as a kid, the same brother who stood beside him at his wedding, the same brother he trusted more than anyone. Could he really be behind all this? Suddenly, Kendra whispered again. He's coming. Everyone froze. Who? Calven asked. Kendra's hand trembled as she pointed into the darkness. Terran! A branch cracked. Footsteps. Heavy, slow, steady footsteps. Coming closer. Through the fog, through the trees. A shadow appeared. Tall. Broad shoulders. Face hidden by the hood of a black raincoat. But Calven knew that walk. He'd know it anywhere. It was Terran, his own brother, alive and dangerous, and coming straight for them. The rain poured harder. The woman in red stepped in front of Elowen. Joran's jaw tightened. Calven's heart turned cold. Terran, Calven whispered. The shadow stopped. Then a voice came from the darkness. Hello, little brother. A long silence filled the park. No one moved. No one spoke, and in that moment, the secrets of the past, the hidden truths, and the betrayal between brothers were about to come crashing down.
The rain hit the ground like 1,000 tiny drums. Calven's breath came in short, sharp gasps. He stared at the shadow in the raincoat. Hello, little brother. Terran's voice was deep and smooth, like old oil on broken glass. Calven's fists tightened. What are you doing here, Terran? Terran stepped closer. The water glistened on his coat. His face was half in shadow, but his eyes were sharp, cold, and dark as a winter night. I came to finish what I started, Terran said softly. Kendra whimpered on the ground. Joran stepped in front of her. You touch her, and you'll deal with me, Joran warned. Terran chuckled. Oh, the loyal guard dog. Still wagging your tail for scraps, Joran? Joran's jaw clenched. The woman in red moved a little closer to Elowen, shielding her with her arm. Leave, Terran, she said. Terran laughed. Ah, Via, you still don't know when to stop, do you? Calven's eyes widened. Via? That's your name? The woman in red, Via, didn't blink. Yes, she whispered. I'm Elowen's sister, and your family's curse. Terran smirked. Curse? No, you're just a loose end. And I've been cleaning up loose ends all week. Calven's stomach twisted. What did you do, Terran? He asked, his voice shaking. Terran's smile faded. He took something from his coat pocket. A small, folded paper. Old, wet, worn. The letter. Elowen's mother's letter. Calven's throat felt tight. That letter, it's real? Terran's eyes gleamed. Oh, it's real, all right. And it has words in it that could tear our whole world apart. He waved it in the air. Words about father, about mother, about secrets buried so deep, even the dead would beg to forget them. Elowen sobbed. Why, Terran? Why did you hurt Kendra? Why steal the letter? Why turn our lives into this nightmare? Terran's face twisted, not with anger, but pain. Because no one ever loved me, Elowen. Not like they loved you. Not like they trusted Calven. Not like they listened to Via. I was the shadow, the mistake, the leftover piece that never fit. The rain mixed with the tears in his voice. And when I found out what father did to your mother, what he did to me, I knew I had to bury it, or it would destroy all of us. Calven felt cold all over. What did father do, Taryn? He asked softly. Taryn looked down. His hands shook. He wasn't our father. Not mine. He was a monster. And when your mother found out, she tried to save me. She tried to run. But he found her. A long silence fell. Only the rain spoke. Calven's heart cracked. His brother wasn't just jealous. He was broken, betrayed, abandoned. But then, something strange happened. A new voice came from the dark. That's not the whole truth, Taryn. Everyone turned. Another figure stepped from the shadows. An old man, gray hair, long coat, and eyes that looked like cold glass. Father, Taryn whispered. Calven's mouth dropped open. No, it can't be. The man smiled. Oh, it can, boy. And I've come to finish this family story tonight. The thunder cracked. The rain poured harder. The nightmare wasn't over. It was just beginning. The old man stepped closer. The rain slid down his face, but his eyes stayed sharp, cold, and cruel. You should have stayed away, Taryn, the old man said. You were never meant to learn the truth. Calven's body shook. Who are you really? The old man smiled, a dark, heavy smile. I was never your father, not yours, not Taryn's. I was the man your mother feared, the man she tried to escape. Eloan's sob choked in her throat. Taryn's face broke. You hurt her. You hurt me. You made me think I was nothing. The old man sneered. Because you were nothing to me. Just a mistake I wanted gone. Taryn stepped forward, his fists clenched, his eyes burning. You ruined everything. And now, you'll answer for it. But before Taryn could move, Calven stepped between them. No, Calven said softly. Not like this. Everyone went silent. Calven's voice was calm but strong. We can't keep letting hate control us. I spent years jealous, afraid, doubting the people I love. It nearly destroyed me. He looked at Taryn. I thought you were my enemy, but you were broken. He turned to Vaya. I judged you without knowing your heart. Then to the old man. And you can't hurt us anymore. The lies, the secrets, the fear, it ends now. The old man laughed, but the wind seemed to swallow the sound. You're weak, boy, just like your mother. Calven took a deep breath. If loving my family makes me weak, then I'll be weak, but I'll be free. The old man took a step back. Via stepped beside Calven, Taryn too, and even Joran, Kendra, and Eloan. Together, for the first time, the storm began to ease. The old man's power faded. He was just an old, bitter man in the rain. Broken by his own cruelty, he vanished into the darkness. And for the first time in years, peace began to settle over them. But the story wasn't over. Because old wounds don't heal in a night, and some ghosts don't rest easy. They would face them, together. Moral lesson: jealousy is a shadow that grows when love is left in the dark. But when truth is spoken, and hearts forgive, even the deepest wounds can heal. Never let anger, secrets, and jealousy turn you against those who truly care for you. Because family is not who shares your blood, but who stands beside you when your world falls apart.
Thank you for watching. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching and supporting my videos. Your time, your comments, and your love mean everything. Every view, like, and share keeps this channel alive, and I couldn't do it without you. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps bring even more passionate, emotional, and unforgettable love stories to life. Stay tuned for more drama, romance, and unexpected twists. Until next time, keep loving, keep feeling, and keep watching. Much love, Infidelity, love.